Hi, how are we doing? Are we good? Good. Okay, good. Oh my gosh. Hello, I missed you guys. I was so humbled this morning. I went on to like my little YouTube studio app and it was like, oh, last post 24 days ago. So let's address the elephant in the room. Obviously I did not do 25 days of Vlogmas like I thought I was going to, like I said I was going to. If we're being completely honest here, I fully knew that I was not going to do it. Like my stubbornness inside of me was just like, no, you're gonna do it. But my deeper knowledge of myself knew I don't do that. I prioritize my personal life way too much. Well, not too much, but too much to be somebody who wants to do 25 days of Vlogmas. But I wanted to give you guys a quick little update because this is just going to be a chatty little video. It's probably not going to be that long, but I did want to just, you know, get a video up because I was going to post one on the first day of the year because it fell on a Wednesday and my posting schedule is Wednesdays and Saturdays, but here we are. So let me give you a little update from the last time you saw me, which was literally almost a month ago, but I just spent most of December with Mr. Special, with his family, with my family, just getting Christmas things together, working, picking up shifts at Tanland, like all this stuff. I really was, I think there was a certain point where I just said, okay, like I'm not even gonna bother worrying anymore, because a lot of times when I take like breaks from posting on social media to re-strategize, just to like recuperate, to brainstorm, whatever the reason may be, a lot of the times I'm just like sitting there stressed that I'm like not posting, or I don't have anything, or I don't have any new ideas. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what do I do, what do I do? But this time I was just like, you know what, I literally don't fucking care. There's nothing I can do about this right now. I'm just gonna sit here, I'm gonna enjoy my time with my boyfriend, who I never get to see, and he was here for about 2.5 weeks. So like literally we did so much. We went to a hockey game together, which I love going to hockey games. This was his first ever hockey game he's ever been to, and we had so much fun. We went on so many other little adventures. We hung out with his family a lot. I hung out with my friends. I did a lot of like girl time with his cousins and sisters and stuff, or sister and cousins. Just like a lot of good stuff. I got a lot of wrapping done. His cousins and I, we had a wrapping day where we literally like spent 4 hours wrapping gifts for everyone in his family, and I had already done mine because you guys know like I have a very like small family. There's not really a whole lot to it, but so yeah, I just had a lot of really good family time, and I was able to have a lot of good like mental clarity with a lot of things in life, and especially with my career, like social media moving forward, all that good stuff. And I just feel so good. Like I feel so refreshed, so rejuvenated, so ready to fucking work. Which also reminds me, I picked up a shift today at Tanland, so I work at 3. It's 10 o'clock right now, and I'm like, la da 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 da. Like, no, we have a schedule to get to. Anyway, yeah, like I completely like brainstormed Pretty Princess Command Center channel, what I want to do with that, the direction I want to take that. I completely planned out all my goals for 2025, which I guess we could talk about a little bit in here, but the way that I did it, I literally was filming a video of like making my vision board for the new year, making my goals list for the new year, and how I like to break down everything so that they're actually doable. But also what happened 2 weeks ago, maybe I want to say 1 week ago, no, probably 2 weeks ago, the day after Christmas, I got so sick, and so many people in Mr. Special's family, and just like so many of my friends, so many coworkers, like everything, like the flu was going around, and like literally it hit me like a fucking semi-truck. Like, oh my gosh, I woke up, I was like, no, I'm fine. Like Mr. Special was kind of like, oh, like I don't feel that great, and I was like, oh, like I feel fine. Like, you know, maybe it's just because we slept with the fan on last night and like it dried out your sinuses, and that's why. And then we went to breakfast, and like I got back for breakfast and I was like, oh, like my body hurts. Like when you have the body aches, I was like, ooh, my body hurts. And then I was down for the count and I couldn't sleep. I was literally waking up every 10 minutes because I just had the worst like pain in my body, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. And yeah, so I was sick, and here we are now. So that's kind of like the recap of what I spent the last half of my December doing. And then on like, I think it was the 30th, whatever the last day of December. I don't know if there's 30 or 31 days in December, whatever. I think there's 31. Well, on New Year's Eve, we just went to his cousin's house and just like played poker, played beer pong. It's just like regular stuff. We literally ended up leaving at like 12:10 to go to sleep. So, and then he left town after that. Like on New Year's Day, he left. He went back to where he has to go, and he's in a different state right now for his job, and just like lots of things are changing, lots of things are happening. But for my 2025 goals, I wrote them all down, like master goal list, and instead of making a vision board, like you see that one, like that's my old one that I had like halfway through last year. I really don't get into them that much anymore. I used to when I was younger, but now I'm just like, I would much rather see it on my desktop, which is exactly what I did. So I made, instead of making like a master vision board for the whole year, I decided to break down my year into quarters, which obviously like businesses are very quarter centric, right? So the first quarter of the year, January, February, March. So the first 3 months of the year. And I was like, so I made my master list of goals for 2025, and then I broke it down into the quarters. So quarter one, I just was like, okay, like what are the things you want to focus on for quarter one of 2025? And I wrote it out. I was like, this, I want to focus on this, like my main concern, whatever, this, and this. Here's how I'll go about it. And then I took the goals from my master 2025 list, and I was like, okay, what goals are you focusing on this quarter? Like what are the, like, pick 5 goals you're focusing on, because like I have a big list of goals, and a lot of them go hand in hand, so it's not like I'm doing so many different things. Like like for example, just so you know we could both be on the same page, like one of my goals is like save X amount of money, and another one of my goals is consistently make X amount of money per month. So it's like the saving it will go hand in hand with the increasing my paychecks, or like salary, basically, you know what I'm saying? Income, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So just like stuff like that. But then I would write, so I had my master list, and then I was like, okay, these are the goals that I'm focusing on for this quarter. And then, so let's say, like for example, one of my goals for the Pretty Princess Command Center channel is, obviously I want more followers on that channel, or more subscribers on that channel, and obviously that can only happen if I actually post. I don't think I've posted on there for like 2 months. And then, so one of the goals was to turn the Pretty Princess Command Center channel into a podcast on all streaming services. So that's like one of my main goals for 2025, and my quarter one goal is to hit 500 subscribers on the Pretty Princess Command Center channel. Once it hits 500 subscribers, then I'll take the audio and put it on like streaming service, like podcast, you know what I'm saying? Like I'll take it off specifically YouTube only, and I'll put it on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. So it's like I have the master sheet, and then I have the little like, here are the subtasks that will help me tick the box of that goal type of thing. So I did that for quarter one because I'm not going to bother doing quarter two. And then I also just decided on like some new things that I want to incorporate into the new year that I kind of have been incorporating, because I feel like I'm pretty like set in my ways, in the sense of like I kind of, you know, I like my routines, I like my agendas, all this stuff. But I did this thing and I called it character development. So like as you could see, like on my Notion I have the quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, whatever, and then I did this thing called character development, which is basically just like little things that I wanted to incorporate into my daily life. And so here's what my character development is. I don't like to share my goals on the internet, because I don't like to share my goals until they actually become things that I've achieved and have in my real life. So, but we can share character development because these are just like habits every day that I do and can implement and can, you know. So 1 hour of language learning 5 times a week. You guys know I've been on my Duolingo grind. I am currently at a 210-day streak, I believe. And I was learning Spanish. I was like, oh, like do 15 minutes a day. But like then, like, you know, you get busy and it's like, oh, like whatever. Like I'll just like make sure that the streak stays alive. So like I'll just like do vocabulary, which takes like less than a minute, and then I go about my business. And then I was really thinking, because I started watching Emily in Paris, and I was like, I want to learn how to speak French. I've never once taken a French class in my whole entire life. My whole childhood and like school, I've only ever taken Spanish. And when I lived in Maine, the like requirement there was that you have to take Spanish. They only offered Spanish at the time, but you have to take Spanish from 1st grade on, and then like once you hit high school, then you could choose like, okay, do you want to take, what was it, Mandarin or like French, whatever, you could choose. But from 1st grade to 9th grade, you had to take Spanish. So basically though, when you're learning Spanish in America, at least at my school. In first grade, like, you're learning the colors of the rainbow and regular words like, oh, I'm happy, I'm sad, you know, stuff like that. And then so instead of like actually being able to speak it, you just know a lot of stuff, and you spend so many years just learning a lot of stuff and not being able to apply it. So I've never, it's always pissed me off that I've had so many hours of my life dedicated to learning Spanish and I still can't speak it fluently. Like, that's so fucking annoying. But then when it came to French, I was just like, okay, well, it will be like a clean slate learning French. Like, I know nothing. I know like, oh, bonjour, like whatever, but I do not know anything. I don't know the concept. I don't know how the language is like built. And I was like, that'll actually be so sick. And I was like, well, what's the point of like learning a language if I'm not actually gonna learn it? Like, what's the point of getting on Duolingo, doing it for 10 minutes a day, just to like, oh, I'm checking the box, I'm learning language, I did my Duolingo, I'm getting smarter, if it's not actually going anywhere, right? And then I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, like every single language class, every class in school is like 45-50 minutes long. I can afford to spend 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, learning languages. And because I'm learning French and Spanish now, I didn't want to like do like, okay, on Mondays I'll do an hour of French, and on Tuesdays so I was like, I'll just do 30 minutes of each, 5 days a week, and then realistically that'll be Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, yes, I will do it to like keep my Duolingo streak. But if I want to do the hour, okay, so be it. If I only want to do 10 minutes, okay, so be it. So anyway, that was just like my biggest thing. I was like, what the fuck is the point of like learning a language if I'm not actually learning it in a way that's beneficial to my life? You know what I mean? So that's character development. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was watching Emily in Paris and it made me want to start speaking French, because I was just like, damn, like, yeah, I want to be able to go to Paris and actually have a conversation with somebody and not feel like a fucking stupid American, you know? Okay, dress nice all the time, which obviously is like whatever, but like instead of like, for example, the other day I went thrifting and I could have easily just put on comfy outfit, cute, comfy, whatever, but I was like, but also I have so many cute outfits. Why would I not wear them? Why would I not put on a cute little outfit, a pair of heels? Like, why not? And that was also inspiration taken from Emily in Paris, because they look good every single day, and obviously like it's a show and whatever, they like, but who the fuck cares? It's not that serious. Like, it's fun to do, so I'm gonna do it. And read at least 12 books, which is basically 1 book a month. And I decided, instead of just like, oh, like I'll read this one, no, I don't really like this one, I'll start this one. Instead of doing that, on my vision board I put the 3 books that I'm gonna read. So my first 3 books of the year, which I could choose the order in which the first 3 are read, but they have to be these first 3, because I'm the type of person that's like, well, no, like I don't have to read it, like nobody's making me read it, so like why don't I pick a different one, and then I just won't do anything. So I'm like forcing myself. These are the 3 books that I'm reading. They're 3 books that I've wanted to read, and I will read them, and whether they're boring or not, I will finish them. So the one I'm reading right now is How to Be an Overnight Success by Maria, I'm gonna butcher her last name. This is the book, and it's going very well so far. I've just been reading 20 minutes a night. I'm really enjoying it. It is a little boring at some parts, just because it is like a book about business, I guess. But there are a lot of good takeaways, and it's just, I'm really enjoying reading that. I kind of like stopped reading like the self-help, like self-development type of books, because at a certain point, I feel like they all are kind of saying the same exact thing. It just depends on the author and how they write it. But I always feel really good when I read those books. So reading stuff like this, it's like, okay, maybe I don't have any interest in starting a business where I'm selling products, but it's still really cool to read about somebody else doing that and hearing like their trials and tribulations, and I'm taking a lot out of it. It's really good so far. So that's my book for January. And then I have The Psychology of Money and How to Win Friends and Influence People, which I started in the summer of 2024, and I guess I got halfway through it. I was reading it on my iPad and I was like, oh, I'm 50% of the way through. And I'm not going to restart it because it is a boring ass book, okay? It was written in like the 50s, so all the examples, like real life examples, are like back when Abraham Lincoln and I were hanging out, and I'm like, oh my god, like I don't care. But I will get through it, and I probably will end up reading more than 12 books, because technically, if you want to be really technical and nitty gritty, that doesn't count as one full book. But if it was a book that was like, let's say it's a 400 page book, and I've already read the first 200 pages, and I read the last 200 pages, sure, I didn't read the full book in 2025, but if it was a 200 page book, I wouldn't be questioning it. I'll figure that out when I get there. But anyway, that was one of my other character developments, because I feel like I really did not read enough last year. Always maintain a clean space, which is a big one for me, which is something I got a lot better at last year, just because I am like such a like, oh whatever, I'll do it later, I'll put that away later. No, I'm done with it. It literally pisses me off so much, and I think I'm finally fed up with myself. And just like by space, it's like, okay, like my bag, like I started keeping my little like lip combos in just like a little jewelry pouch, and I put it in my bag, and so my bag is organized. I'm like, okay, perfect, I love that. But just like whatever the space is, so like my makeup vanity, my room, my bed, my car, my purse, whatever it is, I will maintain a clean space. Follow the plan. The plan never fails. Follow the fucking plan. I always say this, I always preach this, and I do not always listen to myself, and sometimes I'm like, well, nope, follow the plan. And I've done that so far this year. It's currently January 7th. I've done it every day so far, and my life just feels so good. Everything feels like it's following suit, and oh, it's so good. Nightly journaling and reading. Make sure to stick to a night routine that serves my greater good. I have been journaling, and I already feel so amazing, and so many good things have already come into my life. Literally every time I journal, there is like literal proof that just shows up knocking on my door that's like, hey, I'm here because you journaled, and you know, set your brain to be in a really good headspace to receive really good things in life. So I'm here, and I just want to let you know I'm here because you journaled. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Whenever I journal, really good things happen. And then I stop journaling, and I get all fucking sad and like stupid. And then lastly, use less filler words. Taking more time to get what I'm saying out, and not really thinking about the speed, because I do talk really fast, and I like talking fast, and it makes a lot of sense in my mind, but I feel like sometimes I am faster up here than I am here, and that's when the filler words come in, likes, buts, alsos, ands, all that stuff. But then when you start to point out not using filler words, you only can hear them, and then your brain is only like, wait, filler words, yeah, I have to use every single one of them right now. Actually, my camera battery is gonna die. BRB, let me change it. Okay, battery is changed. But yeah, so that's my list of character developments, and who knows, some will probably be added, and I don't imagine any will be taken away, but a lot will probably be added or just altered a little. Like maybe I literally will blow through the 12 books and I'll read 24 books, who knows. But I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys, just because I like sharing my life with you guys. And you know, Vlogmas, in my mind, like how I was saying, I prioritize my personal life too much to be somebody who wants to post 25 days in a row. It's because it's like, when I pick up the camera, you and I are hanging out, and my attention is on you and whatever I'm doing. Like, we are hanging out. So when I'm with Mr. Special, could I have vlogged us going to the hockey game? Yeah, of course I could have. But also, that takes away from my experience with him. Because now I'm not just intentionally with him, I'm intentionally with you guys and with him. And because he doesn't like to be on camera, you know, values his privacy a lot, he doesn't like to be on camera, which is why, like, some people ask me, they're like, why do you keep him like a secret? And I'm like, he's not a secret, it's just private. Like, you guys know about him, you've seen, like, on my Instagram, like, I have pictures of us, it's just like blurry, so you can't see exactly what he looks like, but you can get the gist of it. Like, I don't know, I respect that. And like, this is my job, this is my life, this is not his job or his life, you know? So anyway, yeah, so basically that's the explanation for that. I think that was all I wanted to talk about. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about is I vlogged a glow up day, an entire glow up day, and it was so fun because I literally had every single part of a glow up to do. I feel like usually it's like, oh, well, I already have my nails done, like, I don't need to do my eyebrows, I don't need to do this, I don't need to do that, so like, let's do a face mask together, I guess. But no, I had the whole day, like, literally it started like hair oil, hair mask, hair trim, dermaplaning, waxing, everything shower. I gave you my everything shower routine. We did a spray tan, we did brow lamination, we did a pedicure. Like, we did so much stuff. And then I was like, hey, it's 2025, let me see if I am interested in getting a better editing software for YouTube, because I just use iMovie, and I love iMovie. I love iMovie, okay? It is so easy to use. It's so user-friendly. Like, I love it so much. It's so simple, but it doesn't have a lot of advanced features. I saw a post today that was like, Oh, I literally forgot what it was. But I was looking up. Anyway, let me not. So I was like, okay, let's look up the difference between Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere Pro, because those are the two, you know, big ones. So Final Cut Pro is $299. One time, $299, then you get Final Cut Pro. I want to say it just comes with the updates that happens. It kind of be really shitty if it didn't. It kind of be shitty if it's like $299 and it's like, oh, well, if you want to use the latest version, pay another $299. I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. But, so that was like that, and I was like, well, that's probably like ballsy of them, because $299 upfront, I don't even know if I like it. What the heck, I'm not going to do that. Adobe Premiere Pro was like, hey, we are $29.99 a month. You can cancel whenever you want, and you get 7 days free trial. And I was like, okay, perfect. Let's try that. So this all was happening yesterday on Monday. Today's Tuesday. This was happening on Monday, and I was editing this to get the video up on Wednesday. So I was like, okay, perfect. So I'm fumbling through Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm like, wow, this is the worst interface. It's not as easy as iMovie. It's so annoying. I hate it so much. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, let me breathe. Let me make some food, because I hadn't eaten yet. So I was like, let me make some food. I made food. I watched a tutorial, a 10-minute tutorial on YouTube that gave me the basics of what I needed. I was like, okay, cool. I can get down with this. So I have a MacBook Air, and if you have a MacBook Air, you understand how annoying this is. These are the only two ports you have. You have to charge your laptop and another one of these connectors, USB-C, I think they're called. I don't know. That's all you have. And you have a headphone jack over here, which nobody makes headphone jacks like that anymore anyway. So those are the only two that I have. So when I go to edit things, I have to use this little plug-in that I got on Amazon, which plugs into those two ports, and it gives you USB, SD card, more USB, USB-C, all that good stuff. Yeah? Perfect. Great. Except this is a flimsy little piece of metal. And when I plug it in, I had it plugged in, had my SD card in there. So on iMovie, when you put your SD card in from the camera, you put your SD card in the thing, and you're like, okay, I want to import this to iMovie. So you import all your clips, and their little loading bar will tell you, like, okay, like, you know, give me 25 minutes, and then you can edit freely. So you just wait your turn, and it says, okay, import complete, like, feel free to eject the SD card. Perfect. I'm assuming that's how almost every other software works as well. So I'm like, okay, cool, like, but I didn't have to wait. I was like, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just like a faster software, so like I don't have to wait for it to import all the way before I start editing it. So I'm editing it, and as I was saying, it's very flimsy. So I had it plugged in with my charger plugged into it with the SD card in it, and literally the slightest gust of wind can come by and knock the little like pink thing, this thing, out. And I was like, so I was on my bed and I was editing, and I guess that little gust of wind came, and I didn't realize because I had Do Not Disturb on, so I didn't get the update that was like, oh no, where did it go? I didn't get that update, and the software started running really poorly. I was like, oh, like maybe it's just, you know, overworked. I don't know, maybe the clips are too long, maybe, I don't know. So I get to the end, 3 hours later, I get to the end. I go to export it to, you know, have the whole YouTube video to put onto YouTube. This file is missing. Oh, and this file's missing, and this file's missing, and this file's missing too. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I realized, I was like, oh my god, like, it didn't take it from my SD card and put it onto Adobe. It just, they were just reading with one another. Like, what the fuck? So I was pissed, and I was like, I'm not using a software like this. For as long as I have a MacBook Air and I have to use that stupid little metal piece, it's not stupid, it really does a good job. It's just very testy, it's very sensitive. For as long as I have a MacBook Air, I am not using Adobe Premiere Pro. So I canceled my free trial. I was like, fuck my free trial, I don't care anymore. And I looked up, I was like, Final Cut Pro free trial, thinking maybe I can watch somebody use it so I could see if I like it. And then I realized Final Cut Pro is like Apple owned, and I was like, well, naturally it will probably feel a little something like iMovie, which I really like and I'm used to and I've been using for literally like so many years. And then I found out you could get a 90-day free trial of Final Cut Pro, so that's what I did. But then it was like, oh, your laptop needs to be updated. I was like, okay, no problem, no problem. Big problem, big fat problem, in the wise words of the Basement Boys, big fat problem. it took so long. It literally, oh my gosh, it was insane. It was like maybe 2:30 in the afternoon, and I tried updating it, and it did not update until 7 o'clock at night. Oh my gosh, I cried. I was upset. I had to go. I had to leave my house and go to the grocery store, cook dinner. I had to calm myself down. Long story short, here we are. I used Final Cut Pro to edit just like some clips. Oh, because that's the other thing. I was like, oh, perfect. I could just edit the glow up vlog on Final Cut Pro because it does what I need it to do. I understand it. No, I can't, because for some reason my SD card deleted the video. My SD card deleted the first like 3 clips, which at that point it's like, then you have the last half of a vlog. It's like, say, the last 50 minutes of a movie. Like, what's the point, you know? And I have a software thing called Diskdro that can go into SD cards and see everything that's ever been on it and pull off, like, it can get back deleted files, basically. It's a dumpster diver, essentially. These ones are nowhere to be found, and I'm pretty sure it's because I deleted them off the SD card from my computer instead of, like, from the SD card. So not only, long story short, you will not be seeing that vlog. So sad. But here we are today. We're feeling good. I have a 90-day free trial of iMovie. I'm going to edit this one on iMovie, see how it goes. It's very straightforward. It works the same way iMovie does, except it just has so much more. And my biggest reason was because iMovie, there's no good text on screen option. So whenever you guys see text on screen or like little B-roll moments with music over it with text on screen, I film all that on my phone, so then I can edit it on CapCut on my phone, so then I can upload it to my computer. It's a whole ordeal, and my life will just be so much easier. Like when I put the little picture of the book, like, do you know how easy that was? Actually, well, I'm saying that now as if I know, but I haven't tried, but I just know it's so much easier because on iMovie it's like a whole task. So that is my freaking heckin' life update. Now let me show you guys what I got for Christmas. If you watch Vlogmas Day 5, you know what I asked for Christmas. So I had my top 3 list of Christmas, and one was the large Longchamp bag, the black one with the brown straps, and 2 was La Vie Est Belle by Lancome perfume, and 3 was that Pottery Barn robe that I didn't really want. Like, I do want it, but also clearly, like, I have a robe. Like, I don't need it. It's just like, if you guys really don't know what to get me, like, I've wanted this since I was in high school, but like, I don't really care because I've wanted it for so long and I don't have it that it's like, I don't care, but like, it's a good idea. La Vie Est Belle by Lancome. Oh my gosh. The original. This is thanks to my beautiful, beautiful mother. It's such a gorgeous, beautiful scent, and I feel like it's helping me come back to my roots, come back to my energy, come back to who I am. It smells so good. It smells so good. Okay? So, success. Success number 1. Number 2 on the list. Number 1 in my heart. Success number 2. Number 1 on the list. Also number 1 in my heart. This is from Mr. Special. He did so good. Amazing, amazing. I have already used it quite a few times. I brought it to work. I love it so much. I love it so much, and one of the reasons I love it so much is because it doesn't have a shape, which I like shaped bags. My favorite like everyday handbag is shaped, but when it comes to a work tote, I need flexibility because a lot of times I'm putting random shit in there. I'm putting tripods in there, I'm putting cameras in there, I'm putting extra clothes in there, I am putting my laptop, my iPad, I'm putting so much shit in here that I need a bag that's flexible, and I need a bag that can just move and it's easily washable, because I am the type of person that's like, I am like so aware of the amount of germs on stuff. It's like, okay, when I go put this down in a coffee shop, I don't know, it's on the floor, that's disgusting. I can easily wipe it off with a Clorox wipe. I love it. I love it. And for a long time I was like, no, maybe I want to get one of the Demelier, I think is how you pronounce it. And I was like, no, this is going to be my work bag, okay? This is going to be my work bag. This is the large one. There's a medium and there's a large, and then the extra large just turns into like, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. I have the extra large one. The only thing I want in the extra large one is this. All it is like, you have to carry it like this. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So happy about that. Now, this one was on the list, but it wasn't in like the top 3. It was in the like, I would also really appreciate these. This water bottle, okay? Let's have a chat about this water bottle. Clearly, it's built like my old Slut Cup was, the Simple Modern brand that they sell at Target. I had my Slut Cup, right? My straw was disgusting because I always have a lip combo on. It gets on that. It looks gross. It's exposed to the elements. I'm a straw chewer. It's cracked. I've had to cut that straw so many times. So I was like, okay, one of these. Here's the lore behind this. My mom goes on walks in the morning and she likes to carry her water bottle. She likes carrying it like this, but hers was not big enough. I think it was like 28 ounces and she was like, I need a 30-ounce one. I was like, okay. And she doesn't like straw lids. She hates straw lids because she doesn't like that it gives her lines. She likes the like drinking lids like that, yeah? Okay, so I found this on Amazon from Simple Modern brand, and the thing about it, you see how this is like a circle? It's because you can unscrew it. Like, here, let me show you. You can unscrew this part, and you can change it out. It comes with it, so it's not like you have to buy something separate. It literally comes with both drinking lids. It comes with the one that is like a spout, like where you just like open it and you can drink out of it like a regular like cup, or it comes with this one, which is the straw lid. And I was like, wow, that's like the most incredible invention. So I got that for her birthday, which was in August. Also, I got her a blue one because she's a blue girl. This is 40 ounces, which is a little bit bigger obviously than 30 ounces, but you know, who's gonna be mad that they're drinking more water? And then my mom was like, what should I get Mr. Special for Christmas? Like, I don't know. And I was like, I know what you need to get him. You need to get him one of these because he has a hydro flask and he is driving all the time and it doesn't fit in his cup holder. And whenever I'm in his passenger seat, I put his hydro flask upside down so it fits in the cup holder, and then like when we come to a stop it like falls, and he's like, oh my gosh, that's literally so annoying. And he's about to like do a road trip across the country. And I was like, you need to get him one. So she got him one in black. He opened it and he started using it. And I was with him with my Slut Cup. And I drank out of his. And I was like, I need to buy myself one of these. And then on Christmas Day, I go over to his house to do presents with his family. And guess what I opened from his mom and his sister and his dad. And this is the color I wanted. It's hazelnut. It's in the wise words of Mr. Special's sister's boyfriend and Mr. Special. It's poop colored. And they don't understand why girls love brown. It's, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I love it. I love it so much. Another thing I love about it, I can throw it in my bag. It doesn't leak, okay? It's not gonna leak. It's not gonna spill everywhere. And that's why I loved my hydro flask. But my hydro flask was just so big and bulky and I couldn't put it in my cup holder in my car. But I could put this in my cup holder in my car. Also, this came with like one of the little like rubber grippy things. And then my mom also got me a pair of real Birkenstocks, which is so funny because I guess in my Vlogmas Day 5 when I was talking about what I wanted for Christmas, I was saying how my mom said that she wanted to give me a real pair of Birkenstocks, like from Birkenstock. And I was saying like I really don't need it. Like I would rather her get me something else. If she's gonna spend that amount of money on a present, I would rather it be something else. But I guess she had already ordered them before I posted that video, and then she was like, yeah, then I watched your video and you said that. And I was like, oh no, like no. Because in my mind, I have a pair of shoes that look like Birkenstocks. Like, they serve the purpose aesthetically and convenience-wise, just like a slip-on shoe for winter. But she's worn mine before, and she's like, these are the least comfortable things I've ever put on my foot. And I'm like, well, like, I don't know any different, so I'm not bothered by it, you know? But she got me a pair of Birkenstocks, but then, because we open our presents the day before Christmas Eve. And what was I saying? But she got me those, so I opened them. I was like, oh my gosh, amazing. And she said, before you wear them, I'm gonna go out and waterproof them. So as she's like on her way out the door, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it literally could have just been the waterproofing like spray, like sprayed on it, and it made like a giant black mark across it. That was just, it wasn't actually a black mark, it was just wet. I don't know what happened, but she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that. But then we were looking at them, and one of them had like a cut in it, like it kind of looked like an X-Acto knife, like kind of like accidentally skimmed across the top of the shoe. So we ended up returning them and exchanging them. So the other pair is on their way. But that's what I got from my list and from the people in my life that I sent that list to. And then this necklace right here, this little Chanel necklace, is from Mr. Special's cousin / my friend. I never know if I'm like allowed to call them my friends, but like I am. But like first and foremost, they're Mr. Special's cousin. But anyway, Hiiiii, she got me this, and her boyfriend's sister, they picked this out for me, and they were like, I know you don't wear silver because it's on a silver chain. She was like, I know you don't wear silver, but you do wear a lot of like sparkle, like diamonds, and like these have like little diamonds in them. I have another pair of like little tiny earrings that I usually have on. That's actually a good reminder to put those back on. But she was like, I just feel like you could figure it out. Like you could do something with this. And I'm not big on like brands, like branded things. I don't know, like to me, I just like I probably wouldn't buy this. And when she gave it to me, she was like, I don't know if you'll wear it, but like we saw it and like thought you should have it. And it's not real, guys. It's not real, okay? It's a fake, so they're not like fucking like shelling out however much this is the real price. I mean, like, well, if you don't like it, just don't wear it. Like, no. It's fake. And we've had the fake conversation. I'm not above fake bags, fake anything. Like my Cartier rings, hello? Yeah, Cartier from Amazon.com or DHK. I don't remember where these ones are from. I love them. I love every single second of them because it is what it is. There's so many other things I would rather put that amount of money into. Anyway, I put it on literally this morning and I like fell in love and I feel like myself again, because that's a whole nother part of this conversation. Honestly, this video might be really long and it's just us talking and catching up because I miss you so much. We'll get to that. But anyway, this is one of the things, and yeah, so like I was saying, I literally put it on for the first time today and I actually love it. Like I feel like myself. I'm like, same Hiiiii, which is Mr. Special's cousin, and her boyfriend's sister, Sarah, they also got me this, again, it's fake, but it's so cute. This little Dior bag. I think it's like a lady bag, Dior lady bag. This is my favorite Dior bag. Like, every time I'm on Pinterest and I see it, like, because you guys know, and like I said before, like, I've never, like, cared for designer things. Like, I'm not like, oh my gosh, I need this designer purse because it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. No, a lot of times, like, designer purses, like, they literally, like, just look like any other purse. They just, like, have the design of the brand on them, which, like, that's cool, whatever. But this, like, this shaped, like, square, perfect little, oh my gosh, I love it so much. Love it so much. And her boyfriend's family, like, they live in Dubai part-time, so they know where to go to get good, like, fakes and stuff. So this is actually from when they were in Turkey. They got this and this in Turkey, and I was like, oh my gosh, you went to a different country and you were thinking about me? But anyway, I love it so much. So cute. And I think that's what I got for Christmas. Like, I think that's it. And I feel like I might be missing something, but also I don't think I am. But this I got for myself like the day after Christmas, and it's a game changer. So it's a new iPad case, which doesn't seem crazy at all. But one, this color, I'm finally deciding, like, I am not a pink girl. Okay, like, I love pink. I love baby pink, light pink. So cute, so pretty princess. On everyone else, for everyone else. My true feelings about stuff is, like, I want a burgundy iPad case, okay? Watch. Literally, it has a keyboard. I wanted a keyboard case because I was trying to, like, use Notion, Google Calendar, and GoodNotes, and, like, I just, like, give up with GoodNotes because I'm like, I need a keyboard for half of this. It's the simplest thing in the whole world, and I just love it so much. So if you've been interested in getting a keyboard case for your iPad, get one. Oh my gosh, amazing. And it's just been making me use my iPad so much more. And, like, I like reading on my iPad. I have a Kindle. I saved up my $60 when I was in, like, 4th, 5th grade. I bought myself a Kindle. I went to Staples and I said, I want a Kindle. Bought a Kindle. Didn't like reading. I just wanted a Kindle. So I still have it. So sometimes when I'm like, oh, like, I feel like I should just be using my Kindle instead of my iPad. No, because that thing's so fucking old that it's like I shouldn't feel bad that I don't use it. Like, it's given me more than 15 years probably at this point. Well, yes. I don't know. I can't do math. Whatever. Anyway, this case has saved my life. So I'm feeling really good in life right now. And that is another thing I want to talk about. And we might as well talk about it now. But I need to really quickly answer some emails because I feel like I've been sitting here for like an hour. Really quickly just like answered some emails. And I'm kind of upset about something. getting paid in a space where it's not like a paycheck every 2 weeks, like getting paid like in the influencer space, so grateful for it, right? But oh my gosh, I still haven't been paid from a video that I did in October. Hello? We signed a net 30 contract. Give me my fucking money. Anyway, I'm just, but let's have a chat about some things, because I just want to like go over this past year, because a lot happened in 2024 that I really wasn't expecting. Like, example, moving out of my apartment. When I look back at my apartment time, it was like a very weird time, and I think I was so excited to be moving forward in life. That's kind of what it felt like, but I don't think necessarily that's what I was doing. I guess I moved into my apartment in 2023. Yeah, because I turned 22. Okay, so I moved into my apartment of 2023 in January of 2023, because it was like shortly after I turned 22. 2023. Yeah, okay, yes. And I had signed a 13-month lease, so I would have been leaving in February of 2024. Okay, correct. So basically, I signed that, and that was when I like was making enough money with social media to confidently move out, confidently support myself entirely, like rent, groceries, everything, right? And I was so happy, I was so excited, like I got approved, I moved in, I had the 2-bed, 2-bath, all that good stuff. And during that time, like, obviously, like, it was a big life change. Like, I had like, paid bills before, and, like, I had bills to pay before, but, like, I had never had, like, rent to pay, and making sure that I'm getting renter's insurance, and paying for Wi-Fi, and paying for utilities, all this stuff. It was, like, my first time living alone and being an adult, and, oh, shit, like, I have to buy a trash can, like, oh, I need to buy laundry detergent, I need to buy dryer sheets, I need to buy cleaning products. Whereas, like, before, like, when you live at home, it's like, well, you know, there already are cleaning products, there already are paper towels, there already is toilet paper, stuff like that. So that was when I turned 22, yes, because I'm 23 right now. Okay, 22. So I moved in, and I was like so excited. I was like, okay, like this is gonna be so fun. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna have like my own space so I could vlog a lot, and I could like film, and I got the 2 bedrooms so I could have a filming room. And then during that time, I was signed with an agency company for social media that I had been with for about a year at that point, or maybe a little less than, oh, it was a little less than a year actually. I had been with them since August of that year. So August of 2022. So I had been with them in August of 2022, and at this point it was January 2023. So August, September, October, November, December, January. So I'd been with them for 6 months, and I signed a 2-year contract with them. So that happened. I was with them. I was doing fashion videos on TikTok. I was really building my community. I was growing. It was a lot of fun. And then I kind of got like sick of doing fashion only content. Like, I wanted to be able to do other stuff. I just didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do. And I was just getting annoyed. I was like, well, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. Like, at least not this way. I don't want to be known only for this. Like, I have so much more to share, and I want to be able to share that without people being like, why the fuck are you posting this, right? And so an agency, and especially the agency I was with, I had like an account manager, I had a talent manager, I don't really know. I had 2 regular managers, and then I had a social strategy person. And so I was like telling them, I was like, well, like, yeah, this is how I feel, this is what we're doing, you know, I want to like kind of branch out, but I'm not really like understanding how, like I don't know what feels good, I don't know what to do. And they were like, well, like maybe try this, maybe try this. And then eventually they were like, we can't get you any brand deals because you only post fashion videos. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, that's not my fucking problem. You guys signed me because of the content that I made. You guys looked at my page and said, we really like this, we can sell this. Come here, let's team up so we can both make more money. I said, okay, perfect. And then they came and said, fashion is the lowest billing industry for social media and just like in general. Figure it out. because we can't, you know, we can't pitch you for brands when you're only posting fashion videos. And I said, okay, perfect, because I don't even want to only do fashion anymore. Like, I've been asking for help because I want to branch out, but I feel very stuck. I feel like I put myself in this box that I don't fit in anymore, but people keep wanting to cram me back in it. So help. No help. No, just like, well, yeah, that might work. But then at the same time of like, try new things. Obviously, if you build a whole community of people that know you for posting your outfits and styling things, and then you start talking about laundry detergent, well, I guess that kind of would get hand in hand, and you start talking about recipes, this community is going to be like, what the fuck is this? I don't like that. Like, I don't care. That's not why I watch you, you know? And so with a lot of trial and error, I was just feeling so like literally, like my agency would be like, your numbers are really low. Like, you're losing followers. You're not getting enough views. And I was like, I fucking know. Like, do you think I don't see that? Do you think I don't see that? Like, I could see it, guys. I'm feeling it probably a lot harder than you are, okay? And they would just say that. And they were like, yeah, figure it out. Like, it's clearly not working. I was like, I know. Do you want to help? You want to help, you stupid little industry professionals? So that happened. While that was happening, the brand deals that I had done, I found this out in 2024, they didn't pay me for them. There was like a really good chunk of money that I just never got because they stretched themselves too thin. It was a very big agency and they had a lot of people and all they cared about were numbers. Like, you were not a person to them. You were like, how big is your dollar sign, basically? And I'm seeing that like now. But, and when I was doing taxes for 2024, my mom and I were going over everything because my mom is so lovely, amazing, beautiful, and she's so good at numbers. She's my little personal accountant. And she was like, wow, like, yeah, they didn't pay you this, they didn't pay you for this one, you didn't get that payment, you didn't get that payment. Meanwhile, this was happening, I wasn't getting paid while I had the most amount of expenses I had ever had in my whole entire life before. So I was like, wow, I feel like I'm drowning. Like, how do I not have enough money for this? Like, how, like, I know that I made enough money for it, but I somehow do not have enough money for it because I didn't fucking get paid. Like, and all this time, I was just like, I guess I'm just not making money. Like, I guess I just suck. Like, I guess I just shouldn't do this career anymore. I guess I should fucking, like, go back to school and do something else that I don't care about. And it literally, it took my confidence from here to here. Which, for me, I've always been, like, very sure of myself and very sure of who I am. So feeling that, like, the first time I moved out and, like, went out at life on my own, and to have my confidence just, like, stripped away from people that literally had no authority to do that, from people that literally said, we fucked up, but it's your fault. We're not going to tell you we fucked up. We know we fucked up, but it's your fault that you're not doing good. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I guess I just suck. I don't know what to do. And looking back at that time while I lived in my apartment, like, I was feeling a lot of that, and I was working at the spa that I used to work at, which I'm happy because it brought me two of my closest friends that I have right now. But also, it literally, like, destroyed me. Like, I was just constantly, like, in such a bad headspace. It was, like, the most toxic, negative environment I've ever been in. The people there were just so, like, mean and conniving, and I literally would just, like, clock in there 8 o'clock, leave at like 3, sit on my couch, order DoorDash, and like be sad. And like, I didn't even realize, like, I had gained like a good amount of weight. That, like, in the beginning of that year, I had intentionally gained weight to like put on mass and like make my butt bigger, make my legs bigger, stuff like that. But like, I didn't even realize like what I looked like. Like, and I just got so uncomfortable in my own body. Like, I just got so uncomfortable with just like being myself, and I was like, this is like the shittiest feeling in the whole world. And I'm stubborn, and I didn't think that was the problem. Like, I didn't think that, like, I was feeling, like, low in self-confidence and, like, stuff like that. Like, I just thought it was, like, a ebb and flow. Like, just, like, okay, this is, like, a dip in life, and, you know, there's highs and lows in life, and this is just a low, and it is what it is. I didn't know that it was, like, literally my mental health was, like, tanking because of this. So then, I think it was January of... maybe it was December. It was either December or January. No, it had to have been January because Mr. Special was gone. Like, he'd gone back because he had spent the holidays with me at my apartment. Anyway, January of 2024, I got on one of my calls, which I had like basically no calls with my manager. Like, I basically did not know my manager. Also, while I was with that agency, I had a manager, and then she just, like, dipped. Like, she was like, yeah, sorry, like, we're not gonna do that meeting today. Like, I'm on vacation. I was like, oh, like, thank you so much for telling me. Like, I literally planned my whole day around, like, this 30-minute meeting, and you didn't tell me that it was canceled. So she dipped, and then they, like, gave me the intern, which I actually, there's a quote in the book that I'm reading, which I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so funny. Let me find it. But anyway, I had my call January 2024, and it was like to go over, like, it was literally just like a quarterly call, like the first quarter call. That's what it was like scheduled as, a Google Calendar. So I'm like excited. I'm like, okay, no, like, we're gonna turn this year around. Like, yeah, like, it was a little bit rough, you know, the end of 2023, but 2024 is gonna be such a good year. Literally, I get on the call, the manager's like, hi, how are you? Like, yeah, how was your Christmas? All this stuff, letting you know, we are, like, no longer wanting to work with you. And I was like, okay, what the fuck? I literally started crying on the call because, like, I could literally start crying about it, thinking about it right now. Because, like, remembering that feeling, it was just so, like, oh my god, I'm gonna start crying. Guys, I love talking to you. I feel like I haven't talked about this for, like, so long because I haven't figured out how to, like, properly, like, I've talked a little bit about it before, just, like, yeah, fuck them, and, like, now, like, I feel like I've finally, like, fully processed everything. And anyway, okay. 2024 was such a weird year. Like, 2023, 2024, I don't know. The past 2 years, they've just been kind of, like, weird, I guess. But yeah, so I literally, like, she said that on the call, and she's like, yeah, I'm really sorry, like, yeah, like, it wasn't my decision, but, like, you know, like, you're just not making enough money. Like, we just can't really pitch you to brands. And I was like, okay, cool. And I literally told her, I was like, I mean, like, if I'm being completely honest, I kind of saw this coming because, yeah, like, social media has literally been, like, not fun. I have not known what to do. And I'm trying to, like, you know, make her feel less, like, shitty for having to be the messenger of bad news. So I'm like, yeah, like, I saw it coming. It's fine. Like, I don't even know if I want to do it anymore. And I think that was, in retrospect, I think that was a way of me, like, I was protecting my ego. To be like, yeah, like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. You know, when in reality, I was like, oh my god, you just literally took a big fat juicy knife and stabbed it right through my heart. Why did you do that? I literally hate everything and I just want to cry. I spent the whole entire day crying. Literally, first person I called was Mr. Special, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And he was like, I am literally in the middle of, like, working, and, like, his job, like, he can't just, like, oh, sorry, it's a personal call. No, like, his job is, like, down to business. Like, it gives high levels of security. So then I called my mother, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And she was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be okay. Like, you need to come over. Like, you need to not be alone right now. Like, just come over, just take a day. We'll figure it out. And that was when we were like, we need to move out of this apartment. That's because my lease was actually about to be up in that apartment, and I was like, no, I want to downsize to a 1-bedroom. I don't even use the 2nd bedroom anymore. All this stuff. So basically, 2024 was probably, like, the worst year of my life, which is, like, so crazy because it was so good in so many other ways. And, like, Mr. Special and I became, like, we became, like, so strong. Like, we got through so much stuff. Like, long distance relationships are hard, and, like, we figured it out. Like, we just, like, grew so much. And I think as a person and, like, personal growth, it was such a good year for growth and learning about myself and changing and, like, figuring it out. But all other aspects, my career, my fucking financial situation, like, it was the worst year of my whole entire life. Oh my gosh. But, like, I did a lot of fun things, and, you know, there was a lot of good high points, but overall, damn. So yeah, that was basically a reflection summary of my 2024. But I really want to find this quote in here in this book, because I think I read it not last night, but 2 nights ago. She was talking about how in her brand, the brand she created, she was talking about hiring PR agencies and just, like, her experience with PR agencies. And basically, every management agency that a creator is signed to is essentially a PR agency. Just instead of pushing PR, like, instead of having a manager that takes care of making your brand seen, your manager takes care of you as the influencer, make sure you're seen. So instead of pushing, like, Makeup Forever, like, oh, I'm the PR agent for Makeup Forever. Like, no, I'm the PR agent for Kat Gold, that kind of thing. Or like Alex Earl or Monet McNichol, you know, like whatever it is. Anyway, I literally highlighted this. So it says, when I started, I went with a large and reputable agency to establish the brand and also be in the company of other reputable brands. When I signed with my agency, I was like, this is a big brand. This is a big agency. They have a lot of big names, like high earners, high performers. They have a lot of really reputable names on their roster. Like, I am honored to be amongst these names. So that was my logic going into it. It's important that you feel you're getting your money's worth, particularly if you don't have a lot of it and you do not want to be fobbed off. Like, the difference between like a brand working with an agency and an influencer working with an agency is the brand will pay the agency up front to market them. Whereas like an influencer does not pay the agency anything. Basically, the agency is working for you in a way. Even though you're not paying them, like whatever. This is just from the book. I have found that when the larger PR companies are pitching for your business, you'll get the senior partners and creative directors come to see you. But then 6 months down the line, you find that you're dealing with the junior account director and then the final, I don't know how to say this word.
Ignominy.
And then the final ignominy, you only get email replies from the intern. And I was like, that is exactly what happened to me. Exactly what happened to me. Oh my gosh. And I just like, I felt like so validated reading that because I was like, damn. And then she goes on and said, with time, I decided to move to a smaller agency where our brands were the biggest and would get more attention. There are pros and cons to both. So I, thankfully, am with one of the most amazing people I could ever imagine as my agent. And I'm just like so happy and blessed that that worked out and the timing of everything worked out. And it's actually crazy because before I signed with the big agency that I first initially signed with, my current agent at the time was just starting up her agency. And she was like, I would love for you to be like the first influencer that we sign. And I was like, I'm literally so sorry. Like, you literally emailed me like the same day as this other agency. And for my sake, like, I feel I need to go with like somebody that's like already established. And like, it's just crazy how the timing works out of everything. But anyway, that's that. And I guess I just realized during 2024 and like all of that happening, I was just like, my self-confidence was just like shot. It was like, you know that sound that's just like, oh, I haven't stubbed my toe in 4 years. I was then shot 57 times in the chest. That is what I felt like. It was just like, okay, yeah, I'm not like making as much money as I thought I would be making going into this, having a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in this fucking economy, paying for it by myself. I did have that amount of money, and I saw the contracts get signed for the amount of money to be able to afford it and like live comfortably, but the money is not in my bank account. Okay, that was me like stubbing my toe. Went to a really shitty spa job just as like a part-time job, just like how I have Tanland. So long story short, oh my gosh. But I came to this realization the other day that, and I guess maybe this is like a weird realization to have at 23, but I think it's because I've always been such a like a sure of myself person. Like, I've never really doubted myself before. And I guess in 2024, I spent most of the year just doubting myself and trying to fit into a box that I no longer fit into. And it was like so uncomfortable, and I was like, what the fuck is this feeling? Like, I just want to give up and do nothing. And like, that's not like me at all. Like, I'm so stubborn. I'm like, I don't fucking care if it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna do it. But feeling that like, I don't care, I don't want to do anything, like it's not even worth it, like it's not even worth my time. Like, there's so many people out there that are already doing stuff like that. Like, what makes me better than them? Like, literally nothing. Like, for me to go through life and for a year and having that mindset was literally like, it's like Paris Hilton going brunette and like chopping her hair into a bob. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Okay, like, she's Paris Hilton, she's blonde, she's skinny, she's rich, she's that bitch. Okay, like, you're not gonna see her any other way. And I actually realized this on like a few days ago. What day was it? I think it was Saturday. I realized this on Saturday, and I realized I spent the whole year being small because I didn't want to deal with what it felt like to be big, because I have been big before, and I'm not talking like weight or anything. I'm talking about like personality, and like I have always had like a big personality. Like, I'm not saying like I'm like, oh, I'm so outgoing and I'm like the funniest person ever. No. I've just always had a big personality. Like, I've always been the person, like, literally when I was in school, like when I was in like 5th grade, no, what grade was it? 7th grade. I literally remember this moment so specifically. There was this one girl in my class, and she was so quiet. She was so like sweet, pretty, quiet, had pretty handwriting, all this stuff, never got in trouble, never like talked while the teacher was talking, all this stuff. And I literally remember one day, it was in science class, and I was like talking at my table, and I had made a joke, and it was so fucking funny. Whatever it was, I just know that it was funny. And it was kind of like one of those jokes that's like, you only make it because like somebody said something and it like slyly fits in. It's not like a, hey guys, listen to this joke. It's like, this person said this and you're like, oh yeah, fucking right. Like one of those type of things, right? And I literally got detention. That was the first and only time I had ever got detention in my whole life, because my teacher was like, why do you feel the need to talk while I'm teaching? Like stop talking while I'm teaching. You're coming in after school, you're gonna stay after school, and you're gonna clean all the like eye goggles for science class. I was like, what the fuck? And I remember looking at that girl being like, I wish I was more like her. I wish I was like quiet and I stayed to myself and I was just like pretty and I was girly and like stuff like that. And so like I've always just had that personality of just like, oh shit, sorry, like I was talking in class. And like obviously as I got older and like in high school, like I'm not fucking stupid. Like yes, it's very disrespectful to talk while your teacher's talking, but like when you're in 7th grade, you're stupid and you're like, haha, that's a funny joke. And like you kind of don't analyze your surroundings as well. Anyway, I just remember like that feeling, and like there's so many times in my life that I felt that feeling. I'm just like, I wish I could just be like the pretty quiet girl that like doesn't get in trouble and like, you know, isn't like thought of as like, oh, you like, she's so funny. Like you think of her as just like, oh, she's pretty. And I realized like as I got older and as I started to grow my social media, I was like, I don't fucking care. Like I want to be the girl that's like, you can see me as a pretty girl, but you can also see me as like a loud, funny personality. Like you could see me for exactly who the fuck I am. Like, do I love playing with makeup? Am I obsessed with like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty, it's shiny, it's sparkly? Yeah, but I'm also like, no, fuck you. I'm gonna make the funniest joke that you would never imagine coming out of like a pretty girl's mouth. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's like such a weird, like, it's like you're either pretty or you're funny. Like no. So anyway, I spent a lot of 2024 just being quiet and pretty. And like when I say pretty, I don't necessarily mean like, oh, she's beautiful. Just like a pretty, when you think of like somebody, like when you think of like what I'm thinking of as like, oh, the pretty girl is like, she's quiet, she's just pretty, like she has her friends and she does what she's there to do, and like she doesn't like draw attention to herself, I guess. And yeah, I spent a lot of 2024 doing that just because I was like, I don't want to deal with failing. I don't want to deal with getting critiqued. I don't want to deal with somebody telling me I'm wrong. I don't want to deal with hearing people call me annoying, calling me loud, calling me ugly, calling me stupid, calling me incapable. I don't want to hear it, because I feel like I spent most of 2023 hearing that, and I didn't realize how much it actually affected me until 2024. And I was like, I don't feel like making a video that might, you know, go viral, because people are just gonna tell me I'm stupid and people are gonna tell me I'm like worthless. And I just like, I spent the whole year being small to accommodate other people who I didn't even fucking care about. And by other people, I mean like fucking strangers on the internet. Like, why do I even care about their opinion? And that's why like I felt like when I made like the Pretty Princess Command Center channel, I felt like this is what I want to do. Like, this is what I want to do. And at first I was like, no, like it's too long of a name, like it doesn't make any sense. But I made it and I was like, that is who I am. Like, that makes sense to me. Pretty Princess Command Center. Like, it's silly, it's funny, but it's still like the Pretty Princesses. But also, yeah, like sit down and listen up, you know? And like, I was so proud of myself for doing that. And I just feel like, I don't know, I just came to that realization that like I had spent the whole year just like downplaying myself and like making myself small so that I wasn't subject to other people letting me know that I was making them uncomfortable, or other people telling me like, you need to be smaller, you need to be quieter, you need to do this, you need to be more like that. I was like, I don't want to hear anybody tell me anything anymore, so I won't talk. Whereas before it was like, you can tell me whatever the fuck you want, but I'm not listening. And that's like who I am. And that I literally Sunday I decided I was like, I'm gonna film a video, and like I don't really fucking care. Like I'm gonna film it exactly how I want to film it. I'm not gonna worry about how it's coming across. I'm not gonna worry about if it's too long. I'm not gonna worry about anything. I'm going to film my fucking videos, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. And literally just like something as little as like putting this necklace on. Like I know that there's gonna be someone on the internet that's like looking at this necklace stack being like, oh my god, like that's so embarrassing, like it's so chuggy, it's so cringy, it's so whatever. And like even this dresser, like this dresser, literally it has sparkles on it, okay? I love this dresser. I walked into the furniture store, and like my mom and I were looking at dressers, and I was like, that's the one I want, like that one. And she was like, really? Like sparkles? Like you're gonna like outgrow sparkles? And I was like, no. You might outgrow sparkles because you don't like sparkles. She's like, she has like a light like wood dresser. Like that's her aesthetic. It's very like natural, you know? Whereas I'm like, no bitch, I want sparkles. Like I like sparkles. I don't care if you think they're ugly. I don't care if you think they're embarrassing. I want sparkles on my fucking dresser. And here we are. And I feel like I finally am back to a place where I'm like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. Because I'm not hurting anybody. I know I have good intentions. I know what my heart's intentions are. I know that all I want to do in life is just like be who I am and make people feel happy and teach girls how to feel happy being exactly who they are, so they don't have to be that girl in 7th grade wishing that they were that girl that was just like pretty and quiet and didn't get in trouble. And like, oh my gosh, it feels so good to like know who I am again. Oh my goodness. And all of that to say, I just feel like so excited about this year, because like the past 2 years, literally, like obviously it could have been so much worse. And like this, if this video like got on the wrong side, like people would be like, oh my god, you're so privileged to be able to fucking be complaining about stuff like that. Yeah, I am privileged. You know what? I am. And I'm so blessed to be able to say that, and I'm so grateful to be able to say that. And if it really hurts your feelings, then I'm able to sit here and say I'm very grateful and blessed to be as privileged as I am, and to have the problems that I have and not have problems that are like 1,000,010 times worse than mine. If that pisses you off, so fucking be it. So, with all that being said, I missed you guys so much, and I'm so happy that I just sat here and talked about all of this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. So on that note, I'm gonna go, and I'll see you girls on Saturday on the vlog channel. And I think I'm gonna keep the Pretty Princess Command Center channel posting Monday, but I might make it Wednesday just for the sake that I'm gonna film one right now, and I want to post it tomorrow. I also rebranded that this morning on the thumbnails. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But anyway, if you stayed this long, thank you so much, and thank you for listening and just hanging out with me, and I appreciate you, and I love you. So on that note, I hope you have a pretty princess day.